Japanese Zero fighter captured in the Aleutians has been repaired ready for inspection by America's naval air experts. It was found to have plenty of speed and maneuverability, but almost no protection for the pilot.
From Legend of the Skies to paper on my desk. And this build was actually requested by one of you, so here it is. By popular demand, by Hispano4. Here's what I will be using: the hand-drawn 1x72 template, scissors, glue, and of course the paints that will bring the Zero to life. Every cut matters. The Zero was known for its lightweight frame, and here each paper part needs the same kind of precision. Now we're just making the rear of the fuselage. So for this, the cone. Next is just a full-on cylinder and just attach both of them. So in the underside where you see the lower half of the plane, I would suggest making it as flat as possible since you need to attach the wings. And then now I added the front portion where I will be attaching the engine parts. So normally in this specific engine, you can see the piston layout and how the engine block looks, so you need to attach that. And now I added the portion, so basically the axis or the axle where the propellers are gonna sit or rotate. So now next I had to paint it beforehand since the inner side is going to be black, and then I have to add the specific, as you see, the pistons. So the pistons, they're white. I can't paint them initially beforehand, but now it's painted, and then I can add some white in black in between. That's that. Now next what we're making is the front portion where it's slightly more bent towards the nose. So that's what I'm showing you currently. It looks good. It's not exactly the greatest because paper can go many ways, but this I haven't grasped it yet. Now as you can see, I am going to build the cockpit. So, and the cockpit of this is slightly harder because the cockpit is divided into 4 major portions, and I had to paste them with hardened paper. So the usual 4 or 5 layer pieces of paper layered on. I had to use super glue for this since Chemifix would not work for this. Next, after attaching those pieces, I just added a smoother layer on top, a single piece of paper layer, so it looks the part of an actual cockpit. Next, fully black, since I need to paste pieces of paper like I'm showing on top of it. Small lines of paper on top of it is what we need to do. Next, you'll see how it's done. So I added the smaller portions around it, and now as you can see with the grid-like structure, it looks more believable that it is an actual cockpit. Now next is the wings, but for the wings to happen, we need to make the templates for the wheels. The templates of the wheels to happen, we need to make the wheels, the landing gears, if so. So the landing gears is basically a long strip of paper going around and around so it gives the exact diameter of the wheel. So I think the thickness of the wheel is around 3 millimeters. So yeah. So I had 2 pieces. It doesn't need to be extra detailed since Japanese did not make extra detailed things. So next is the template. It's like basically making a cookie dough template, basically that, but in this case we're going to be making the cookie before the template. So as you can see, I explained that the procedure in my previous build, which was the Spitfire. So now I added the template to the wings, and I have to build the wings around the template and then attach one side to the fuselage. elliptical wing. You see the 0, it's legendary maneuverability. So next, what we're going to be doing is attach the landing gear. We're going to be attaching the landing gear next. Every tiny part from the canopy to the landing gear adds to the aircraft's character. So now what we're going to be making is the rear ailerons and the rudder. So before the rudder, I was planning to do the ailerons first, the rear ones. So for that, it's the same procedure. Before that, I added the rear landing gear since it needs to stand straight, as you can see. And now we will be proceeding to the rear wings. The rear ailerons and the rudder. And that is complete. Same as usual. Same multiple layers of paper. You can add smaller ways so it's more curvy. Now we're going to be adding the nose section, and after that we'll be adding the propellers. Same thing, but for the nose section, it's a cone shoved the paper inside so I can actually get the shape. So it's not exactly the best nose shape, but it took me around an hour to get that fixed. Next, same as usual, layers of paper for the propellers. And propellers, I would suggest having it in a sort of aerodynamic shape, not as in the cross section. It has to be aerodynamic. Now what I'm writing is the further details. So we're gonna be adding the 20mm dual 20mm guns, the 30.2mm dual guns, then the wire in the back connecting the main rudder and the signal portion, I believe, and some more minor details. So I've added the minor details, all the protruding parts, all the wires. The wire was actually just string. It was just basic string you normally use to fix up your clothes. There's no strings. So next, I painted a whole piece of paper in red and cut out the exact shapes for the circles and the straight single line for the decals. Now comes the transformation. The A6M8 carried the late war white scheme with the Hinomari insignia. Every brushstroke brings it closer to history, turning paper into something alive. Now what I'm doing is the precision detail. So basically adding those small lines or dotted line, the rivets, the actual places where the body was actually welded together. As you can see, these are the precision shots. I'm showing you exact pieces of close shots of all the pieces I've made, the wires, as you can see, landing gear, the tail piece, all of it is going to be shown, as you can see. And that is, it came out really well, honestly. The detailed portions, it took me like 2 hours to get the detailed portions working, and those are the small cinematic shots. From flat sheets of paper to a hand-painted scale replica. Here's my Mitsubishi A6M80 in 1x172 scale. So I am going to add the 1x72 scale Spitfire next to it just for show in a bit. That is my paper build Zero, a small tribute to one of World War II's most iconic aircrafts. So, what should I build next? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe for more builds. Peace.